you're out there a lot, right? In space.
Aren't you the one I saw running away from me?
Keeper Aquilus, can we have a moment?
Oh, Mateo. It's been too long. How are your parents? Your mother still struggling with that azalea garden?
No, she figured that out a while ago. Had to adjust the pH levels in the soil. But, Keeper, I didn't come to catch up.
Oh. Well, what's on both your minds? Oh. Yeah. How humanity comes together. How we are to love each other even as our universe becomes even more complex.
That's not exactly what we mean. Keeper, when you talk about unity, well, does it mean anything else? Something secret?
Perhaps we should talk about this inside. Now that we have a little privacy, why don't you tell me exactly?
Seriously, Keeper, they bathe whoever reaches the center in a light, and then, well...
So you're saying you found a place of contemplation? There have always been mysteries that seem to defy our understanding of the universe. We enter life as an act of someone else's faith in us. There's no way of knowing who we will become, and yet... So you've pushed into the unknown, not knowing. I think I can. If you're willing to find your way in the dark for a bit longer, I can give you a path to this. There's an old story, far older than the Sanctum Universum, of someone who walked this. This pilgrim claimed he found the true meaning of unity. I always thought of it as just a parable for trying to bring humanity. In my story, the pilgrim met the founders of the House of Enlightenment and the enigmatic cult of the Varun. And he gave them each a part. Then he goes to his final resting place to live out the rest of his days in contemplation of infinitum addendum, his addition or But what if the story isn't a metaphor? Yes, something must be there. Maybe the answer will become clear when we have more. The enlightened work out of the well here in New Atlantis. The rune worshippers are more enigmatic. But there is a lone zealot. I visited her a couple of times.
I'll stay here with the Keeper. We need to catch up. And I wouldn't mind asking him a few more questions.
security scanners, chemical sniffers. The United Colonies sure isn't taking any chance.
Sarah, good to see you. Listen, I smoothed over that incident between Matteo and Rosa at the Sanctum.
I'd hardly call it an incident. Debate. But I appreciate it.
A visitor? He knows not the truth. He sends another to ask more. The Great Serpent waits in the shadows. He will entwine the universe, and all but the faithful will be made. That is... The knowledge of the Great Serpent sweeps away all concern. There is only his inevitable... You wish to speak of the Keeper's Pilgrim, do you not? Jinan Varun meets the unbeliever. He gives false prophecy to Jinan. But such is Jinan's conviction in the Great Serpent, he does not hesitate. He cuts the unbeliever down. But the unbeliever returns. Jinan realizes the Great Serpent is testing him, and he will not be found wanting. 4 times they fight. Over 120 rotations of the planet they are on. Remember these 4 battles, Jinan, the unbeliever says. Remember these 120 rotations. But Jinan knows this is blasphemy, and delivers the killing blow. That is all. I have heard of no such thing. If it exists, it is a shadow that the Great Serpent... Then we are done. Leave me.
There's something I need to talk to you about. Here. I picked it up on one of our latest planetary expeditions. I'm just pleased I get to utilize some of my old field collecting skills. Check back with me from time to time. Look, the fact that you risked your life... Then I'll say it again. My only wish is that my rescue hadn't come at the... He was one of my closest colleagues. And I don't have to. Our charter at Constellation has always been to analyze the unknown, but rarely at the expense of our members' lives. Yet all the while, I've been cavalier about taking risks and pushing the boundaries, not appreciating... Had I not pushed so hard to pursue the Starborn, perhaps... Of course I can. Damn it! Why is this We're explorers. Our curiosity pushes us to seek answers to life's mystery. Yet in return, this is what the universe throws at us. Beings from God knows where who are trying to murder us. No, I refuse to allow Sam's... The question is, where do we stop exploring? Stop pushing the boundaries? Agreed. I just hope it's enough caution that we don't... Well, I suppose that's all I had on my mind for now. I'm sorry I got so angry. Good. Because I expect this won't be the last time I intend to cry on your shoulder or well, we have a long... Oh, I've always liked that statue. It's beautiful, isn't it? I wonder what the artist was trying to represent.
As a tracker agent, my duty is to inform and advise.
Great, actually. Thanks for asking. I've got my issues, sure, but
If it's about the financial or food assistance programs, we are backlogged. Don't worry, we're doing... Oh, you're not...
We don't mean to be intrusive. Any information you could provide would be very useful.
Listen, I've talked about this with him a ton of times, and there's no record of a unit. Our early records are mostly administrative, humanitarian projects, group... But there is a series of exchanges the founding members recorded in a lot of detail. It's the closest thing I have to... A man walks into the first house of enlightenment. The founding members just call him the Drifter. So they think he's a charity case at first, but no, the Drifter asks them a bunch of questions. If your philosophy is built on an individual's own morality, what about the second person? That second person might disagree. Isn't the problem of two what you're really looking for? And the founders respond, each individual must understand how the second person lifts them up. All of human effort is a story of cooperation pushing us forward. And it kind of goes on like that. He comes back every week for a year. Same conversation every time. Second person this, the problem of do that. It's part of our core principles. There's no God pushing us to do good for some eternal reward. We have to help each other. If no one takes responsibility for making the settled systems better, then we're just leaving it to the tyrants to bully the rest of us. Honestly, I think the founding members made it all up. There was a little more hesitation being openly atheist in the early days. I think they were experimenting with writing their own scripture. Fortunately, that got abandoned pretty quick. After the records of the Drifter end, you never see it. Besides what the Keeper would say about it? Sounds like... Or in mathematics, it would mean one, like the one. Always happy to help. If you'll excuse me, I've got...
Is there a type of weapon competent?
Well, you're back. What did you learn? If there really is a location the Pilgrim wanted us to find, Those do sound awfully like coordinates. What else did you learn? Planets are often named by number. That second might mean the second planet in the system. Was there anything else? Yes. What he added to infinity. Maybe that points to a name. If we're looking for his resting place, we'd need to know the name. Let's see. We have something that could be coordinates. Something that could point to a planet in the system. But what's the name of the system? Infinitum addendum. What if we break down the parts? No systems named finite or add. That just leaves in and dumb. Well, that's certainly how I feel. Yes, that's it. The second planet in Indum, at 4 and 120. That's where you'll find the... And from there, maybe... Before you go, you've now spoken to many different perspectives in our universe. In a way, you'll be carrying their... I know you're looking for a specific unity, but if... And once you know, what will you do? Even the most objective, you will be taking a similar part of yourself with you when you find the answer. Will that not color your perception of it? So you're committed to keeping yourself from seeing unity as anything other than a rational...
We're following standard scientific-based protocols. Constellation's been doing it for decades.
Well, I won't keep you any longer.
uncovering the mysteries of the universe. This is exactly what Constellation is all about. It's like he's tapped into the universe itself. Another point for our side.
See that shroud covering Neon? Believe it or not, you're looking at the only city in the settled systems that powers itself from lightning.
Need some work done? Got anything you need to offload? Sure, have at it.
Well, with all signs pointing to the Astral Lounge,
Ebbside's a bad place for tourists these days.
What are you looking at? This? This is Ebbside Striker's turf.
Only the upstairs. Don't bother my customers.
Fine, upstairs. That's gang territory, got it? Yeah, back in the day, you would never. Ugh. Yeah, you used to be people were afraid of the Strikers. We had a name, got it? Now the disciples got us penned up in this lousy bar.
Andrea!
Fine, fine, fine. This beautiful establishment. Do you have anything else, or are we done with this? Whatever this is. I mean, the Strikers will rob you blind, and if you back us in a corner, you're gonna bleed. But the disciples? Pfft, total nutjob animals. They torture people for kids. And the only people that kept them from getting out of control? Us. We were one of the big dogs. We could take what we wanted and no. And Briggs? Total class act. So you stroll in here and want to meet with Briggs? Maybe you should meet with the business end of my ship.
No blood in my shop, Andrea. I'm this close to tossing the lot of you out on the street.
Fine, fine already. You're lucky. Only way you see Briggs is if you, want to join the Ebbside Striker. Oh, nothing. Joining us now is great. You know, I'll just do... Just...
yes. You've got something for me? Ask whatever you'd like. Exploration is my entire life. That being said, I will make... Before I graduated from school, I was... We called ourselves Ironic Comet. A ridiculous name. And before you ask, no, I wasn't the lead singer. The band never really went anywhere, of course, but those were good times. You mean, apart from being the chair of Constellation? Well, let's see. I pride... And as far as planetary exploration, my area... My parents considered themselves to be enlightened. But then, by the time I was old enough to start questioning these things, the idea of following it... It's not that I don't want to believe in anything. Having been out there, I'm sorry if that... I'll be here.
strikers.
You want to
down,
join us?
right?
We're not some daring adventure bullshit you can brag to your friends about. People that come to us have usually run out of options. There was a time when we were the only ones that kept those psychos in line, but I'll get to that. Let me tell you about us. What makes the Strikers different is we're family. It's us against it.
It's been a little too much of that hell going.
Vogel, not the... We do everything we can to make sure everyone's... I prefer we fleece the marks, not kill them. Better for everyone in the long run. But you do what you gotta do. Not so fast. I gotta get to know you first. What would you bring to the Strikers? We get into our fair share of conflict, but having someone skilled in violence right now? Done anything special? Sure you are. Just don't tell Hatchet that. That girl... I'm not sure what your game is. You're going up against the Disciples. Everyone in Ebside's been... Some people snap, and snap hard. The test is to find out who has been arming those nutjobs with military-grade hardware. We're fully in alignment there.
I can't understand this sudden urge to join the Strikers gang. I can think of about 100 better...
There's a warehouse they use. One of our friends said there's a slate there that has the info we need.
Oh, that's my job. I was going to go in.
You want it? Too bad, Vogel. I want someone that can snatch it from them. Ideally with them never... Consider this...
I know Rick said, go quiet, or whatever. Just sort the bastards out as you can.
That.
Let's do this.
What did you think was gonna happen?
If the Disciples spot you, they're gonna... See, that was one hell of a... So you're in. Everyone thinks the Ebside strikers are out for... But now that we know where the disciples... Trying to score points with the boss. You might want to say hello to the rest of the gang. They should... After you take some deserved R&R, hit up Hatchet for any gear you may need.
I can't believe you're actually going to do this.
Huh. So you survived. Andrea thought Briggs wanted you dead, so he sent you away. We are more alike than I... Everyone is hard because they chew up the weak. You are funny. So the job is, we let the street... Hacking the signs is easy. Getting to them or fighting any disciples there? Briggs said he prefers no blood. But here are 3 locations. Good. Good luck.